So now are you ready to not make the biggest mistake I've seen in the last 12 years? One of us. Thank you. I'll talk to you. Let's go and have a conversation. Is anyone else ready to not make the biggest mistake? Thank you. So after someone opts in, they do nothing. So we've got this opt-in process. Someone gives us their name and their email address, and they fill in their name and their email address. They go through this sequence. We've got 5 or 7 interactions, and then they leave them. Who's going to do that in their business? None of us? Okay, that's good. Who does that in their business? Okay, so we've got a follow-up, and the follow-up isn't just the first 5 to 7 interactions. The follow-up goes on from there, okay? So they blame the system and then think, oh, this system isn't working and it's not right for me, and then move on to something else, okay? So what I'm about to show you is common business sense. So we have to nurture and communicate. So once someone has opted into your database, and if you've got a series that goes for 2 weeks, after that 2-week period, you've got to start thinking about getting some content out there on a regular basis, okay? And we have to follow up with them. Follow up past the first 5 to 7 interactions. We have to continue to nurture these people. Now, follow up doesn't have to be just sending them an email and sending them some content. Follow up can be giving them a telephone call. You know, that can be managed in the process as well. And I highly recommend you do that. We'll go through that a little bit more in the next session as well. So remember, in retail, it takes 1 to 3 interactions with a customer to get a sale. Remember that? Online, it's 5 to 7. How many interactions do we need? 5 to 7 as a minimum, okay? What if they're just not ready and we do nothing after those 5 to 7 interactions? 95% come on the 7th interaction or after, okay? Not in the first 5 to 7, but the 7th interaction or after. So as a minimum, we need 5 to 7, but we need to continue that process after there as well. We need to nurture until someone is ready to become a customer. This is the biggest mistake I've seen. So many people get people into the system and then they do absolutely nothing with them afterwards. They have a database of thousands and they've done nothing to nurture the database, and so they're going to get nothing out of it. Does that make sense? Who's going to nurture their data? Who's already nurturing their database? A few of us, okay, thank you. What are you nurturing with, can I ask? Content and deals are nowhere near enough. Okay, good, thank you for being honest. Anyone else who's nurturing their database? Yep. Who's sending a newsletter? Okay, a couple of us. Stop it. Okay, and this will make sense why. No more newsletters. Newsletters don't get the engagement that we need from our database to nurture them. So we need to nurture them until they're ready to become customers from us, not when we're ready for them to become a customer, okay? So how do we do it? Content, content, and more content. Write that down. Exactly right. Jonathan said, is the reason that newsletters don't work these days is because it's too much. And that's exactly right. There's too many things in a newsletter. What we want is one problem and one solution and one call to action in our emails. So, one really important thing in our emails now and in our business right now, video. A study by iView Digital shows that using video on landing pages can increase conversion by 80%. What are we going to do in our communications? If it's increasing conversions by 80%, what are we going to do? Video, thank you. Video increases the length of time that people stay on your page, giving your brand message longer to sink in. Does that make sense? So someone sees a video, they spend more time developing a relationship with you, watching the video, and it gives your message more time to sink in. Who wants that? All of us, thank you. Video helps raise the trust factor significantly, especially if it's you in the video or someone from your business in the video. If they can make eye contact with you in the video, it raises trust tremendously. Does that make sense? People are lazy and prefer to watch versus read. All the men in the room, put their hands up, please. Thank you. Some ladies prefer to read, and some men prefer to read as well, but generally, men prefer to watch videos. If your target market, remember we talked about that a little bit earlier, if your target market is men, then you absolutely have to have videos in your marketing. Does that make sense? If your target demographic is, what are they called? Baby boomers, X generation, Y generation and below, for your paintball, you've got to have video in your marketing as well. So 55% of shoppers often research on mobile devices when visual content content, helps inform their product selection. Visual content equals images and video, okay? Very, very important. Marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. Who wants to grow their revenue 49% faster? Thank you. 92% of shoppers say visuals are the most influencing factor affecting purchase decisions. Visuals, images, videos. So it's important to make sure that we're using it in our marketing. So, blog post, video, blog post, article, emails. We link them all together. When we're sending out content, we write a blog post, we put the video into it, we write an email, and we send it off to our database. Oh, actually, who doesn't have a blog in the room? Okay, get one. We want to be sending people back to it's like sending them back to our business to watch the content every time. So we don't want to send them off to YouTube to watch a video, because what happens when you finish watching a video on YouTube? Yeah, the next one, the related videos, and all of a sudden you're promoting one of your competitors. So you want to have it embedded into your blog post, embedded into your website, and you want to turn off those related videos. Frequency, I have a 1 in 4 rule, and I contradict this rule a little bit later, but this is where we get started. So, 4 items of content, 1 sales email. As a minimum, if you want to send more sales emails, what do you need to do? More content. Brilliant, thank you. So, that means if you're sending an email once a month, every 5th month, you get to send a sales email. So if you want to send more sales, if you want to send a sales email every month, what do you have to do? Send weekly. Brilliant, thank you. More content, more content, more content. Okay.